Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know I have been gone for a minute. It's not been that long, it's just been like 2 weeks. Thank you to everyone that reached out to me on Instagram. Well, I'm back, hopefully by God's grace. Okay, so just something that was on my mind in the wake of everything that went on everything that rocked the Christian community in this past 2 weeks. The first week, why I was off was because I actually was taking a break. It was a purposeful act. But by second week, I had like an emotional meltdown. Okay, so the Friday that I was supposed to post a video was the day that the whole issue of the rape thing that rocked the Christian community started. I didn't have a video for that week, quite alright, so I was actually taking a break, but it was supposed to just be a 1 week break. But after that, everybody knows, like most of the people in Nigerian, for my Nigerian guys in the Nigerian Christian community, they know what happened, the whole buzz. I don't want to talk about the name of the church and the pastor, it's not necessary anymore, but I just wanted to share how I felt. Okay, this whole issue rocked me in a different way. It didn't rock me in the way that maybe like I was raped. I have not been raped before. I remember that the day it came out, okay, we're talking about the popular pastor and popular church and how the church was not holding him accountable. Only for me to now hear about a particular Bible study teacher that I know personally. Not personal, but like I know him, like I follow him on Twitter, we talk, he follows me, that kind of thing. To now hear that this particular person also was accused of rape. And not just one person, numerous people came out to talk about him. From rape, it escalated into financial misappropriation, it escalated into, duping people. This is a Bible teacher, someone that, like, when these issues came home, it became heartbreaking. Like, up until like a few days after, I was still saying maybe this guy is pranking us, because I couldn't believe it. And I'm not even as close to him as some people were. So I could imagine what was on their own minds. Because we're trying to move on from it, I don't want to mention the name of the group and the name of the person. When I heard about it, I was so shocked, because this guy was such a great Bible teacher. He has taught me so much. It was hard to believe that he was even sleeping with people, not talk about raping them. Like fornication is already a problem in Christendom. Like if you're not a Christian, we won't have this conversation. But you're a Christian, you're a Christian leader, you were fornicating, not just fornicating, raping people. That's another level of, it was just crazy. I'm not here to judge him, please stay with me, let me finish what I'm trying to say. But like, the whole issue put me in a situation of fear. I was afraid, I was scared for the flock, for the brethren, for my fellow believers, especially because I am a leader in my capacity. I had to take a break. I just told, like in my group, if you don't know, I lead like a group of women, young women, and it just kept me in this kind of, reckoning and this space of, examining myself to say, are there any hidden sins? Because I know that I am trying my own best. I am doing my own best by the grace of God. I'm not living a fake Christian life. I know that a lot of people are living fake Christian life, and I always address it all the time on my channel. So the whole issue just brought me to my knees. I remember just praying for them, all the people, all the families that have been involved in this whole Christian community saga. I remember just thinking to myself that, God, I know that leaders are held more accountable to a higher standard. Not that we're going to a different heaven. It's just as a leader, like, yes, you're spiritual. You should also be morally upright. That is just like it. It's in 1 Timothy 3. Paul lists what it means to be a leader, to be a bishop, to be a deacon. It's important. That being said, so the whole issue just got me in my feelings. Like, I was like, okay, what made me really afraid was the fact that I felt like if this person that we all trusted, and a lot of people that are in my group also know this guy that I'm talking about, they follow him too. And so I'm like, how will anyone even believe me when I'm talking about the gospel? I'm talking about like the results I've seen in God. How would they believe me if the person that they trusted, me including, was a lie? And I don't know if the devil feasted on that. He definitely did. He feasted on that information in my head and decided to tell me how nobody was going to listen to my message anymore. Nobody was going to listen to what I have to say because it's rape issue that's on the internet now, and nobody was going to take any believers serious anymore. I remember seeing a particular tweet. Someone was like, oh, so this guy took and raped people. Now them, they were talking about Jesus all the time. So they're even a lie. And it just broke me. Like, who's going to believe our reports when the people who are prominent are the ones that are even falling? I'm not saying that we are all perfect, but I'm saying as a leader, we have to try, not even as a leader, a believer, we should try our best to be good examples. We should try our best not to bring disrespect to the name of Christ. I'm not saying you won't sin, but don't hide your sin. Don't cover up your sin. Don't keep covering up till you get to a stage where it's just going to blow up in your face. Everybody, in this generation, because now we know more about grace, we know what grace really is. So I feel like we actually, let's be honest with ourselves, we have that tendency to take it for granted. And this is what Paul saw when he said then that, shall we continue in grace, that shall we continue in sin, that grace might abound? God forbid. So we must try as believers. Yes, when you commit a particular sin, try your best to repent of it, have your conscience still intact. I remember reading a book by Kenneth Hagin saying that the problem with believers who fall out of the faith is that it's not that it just happens one day. Is that gradually they are searing their conscience with hot iron. And so you get to a point where you don't have conscience anymore. Yes, you're still studying the word. Yes, you're still, telling people about God. But inside, when you commit sin, you don't feel remorse anymore. The moment you don't feel remorse, there's already a problem. You should start checking yourself, because it will get to a stage where it will blow up in your face. All through this whole roller coaster of emotions and everything, and I was feeling bad, like I don't even have any message to talk about. If this particular person can fall like this, who's going to believe our report? That was a petty thing in my head, I'm not even going to lie. And the people in my group, they didn't even know. Like, nobody knew I was feeling this particular way. Like, I literally had a meltdown in my head. I actually felt like I don't even want to talk about God anymore. Let's just be going on our own. And I remember the Holy Spirit telling me that those of us who are really living right, who know that we're not living a fake life, it's now our responsibility to talk about God in the way that we have experienced Him. It's now our responsibility to push Him out there. Of course, God doesn't need pushing. What I mean is, we have to talk about Him in a good way. For example, the other day when I was talking about how I had sex with only my husband, people were like, oh, why are you sharing it? Da, 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 da. I was sharing it because we need to be good examples. We need other people to see that, yes, they can be good Christians. And as much as they are hypocritical Christians, they are fake Christians, we can also be good Christians. So if you have a good news to share, please share it about Christ. Don't feel bad. Don't feel, because yes, every time you share good news about Jesus, someone will come and say, oh, why are you telling us? Oh, religious folks. But then when it's a bad news about Jesus, there will be the people retweeting it, there will be people talking about it. And I'm not saying that we should cover up sin. Of course, I'm all for coming out and talking. If you know me, you know I'm not covering up anything. But this video is not even about that. Where I'm headed towards this video is, for those of us who are standing for Christ, who are really living for Christ, let's try our best to keep talking about Christ. Let's not be shy. Let's not be scared. Okay? Tell your own good news. Tell of the life that you live for Christ. Don't be scared. So yeah, I got to that point where I was like, okay, Abba, we're not going to be scared. So please, if you're a leader or whatever, and you're probably going through the same emotion that I'm going through, or I was going through, please don't be scared to tell your truth. People like Heather Lindsay, they're telling us, oh, I didn't kiss my husband before I got married. She made us realize it was possible. Before, we used to think, oh, it's not possible to just find a man that will not kiss you. You get? So if we have these good examples, it makes us realize that holiness is possible, sanctification is possible, purification is possible. We know that yes, we can do it. That's the good thing about sharing your truth, sharing your good news. And that's why I will always share my truth. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but every time I fall, I try my best to, like, get back in shape, repent, be remorseful, keep my conscience always intact with God. That's just it. I think the end point of this video is, don't be scared. Yes, I know there's a lot of bad news rocking the internet about Christianity, but we who know we are standing for God, who know that we are chasing after God daily, who know that our hearts are pruned daily, we have a duty to also tell of our good news, so that people can know that Christianity is not all bad. We have a duty to be good examples. So do not be afraid. Tell about God everywhere that you go. So yeah, that's the lesson that I learned from the whole issue. I've realized that no man is perfect, okay? Let's just all try our best to follow Christ, have a repentant heart, and chase after God. So yes, hopefully I'll be back next week again, hopefully, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. Please, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I know we can do it. Yes. All right, guys. Bye, guys.